All right, folks, That Guy Flies RC. We got the Avios Extra NG 1600 millimeter. Now, the other day, I started to do a safe demonstration, okay? And I had the safe set at the normal angle limits, and I just couldn't get her to turn enough for my happiness. So I got out of safe real quick and went back to AS3X. So I've increased the angle limits on safe, okay? And so now we're going to take off in safe and land in safe, just so to show you it can be done. Got a 5,000 Turnigy in there. Okay. Cross breeze, cross wind, across the runway, but not bad. It's not bad. Timer set for 7 minutes.
Starting the fun over.
I did bring the 3600 6S that because I found an adapter that they sent with me that has an XT60, but I don't have any Velcro on. I don't have any way of securing it in the plane. The strap is not, no. So I don't have any shelf liner. So I'm like, well, crap. All right, right, left, up, down, right, left. All right, here we go. Make sure we are filming, and we are. That's my whole thing. I come here and fly, and I've only got one battery with it today, and what's in it. So it's like, uh-oh, got to get it on the first take. And I'm like, well, if I'm not filming, well, it's going to be a problem. All right. Okay, like I say, that's safe. I can't really, won't let me turn it over, but it will let me do a flat turn for sure. I can't. Okay, folks, there's my hands. There's my hands, okay? Oh yeah, I don't like this, but if you were a beginner, and this is the only way, and you were dead set on getting this plane, this is the only way you could fly it, well, then safe will work. All right, now I get the task of trying to land it in safe.
Time remaining 6 minutes.
All right, I'm out of the power now, so she's just gliding in. I'm going to have to get a little more power and get turned around here. This is a well-balanced plane too. All right, I'm out of the power now. All right. Okay. Okay. There's proof that you can take off and land in safe. And like I've said before, and we've already mentioned, the only drawback on this plane is the gear. The gear is a little weak. It needs to be a little stronger. But other than that, it's nearly a perfect plane. All right. Now,
High speed 3D.
We're going to go to high speed 3D, AS3X. Let's have some fun with it. Now that I've proven that safe is possible with it. Obviously, I don't have safe in now. And folks, I'm not a 3D pilot, okay?
Time remaining 5 minutes.
That was fun. Oh, you just don't know how much I needed that.
Time remaining 4 minutes.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, let me fix my gear. All right.
Motor gonna bite you.
Motor going to bite you. All right, we'll go back to sport mode
Low
now.
rate sport mode. Low speed extreme 3D. High speed 3D. Time remaining 3 minutes.
Upward knife edge here.
Low speed extreme, low rate sport mode.
Yeah. Well, anyways, the purpose of today's flight was just to show that you can fly and land it. Can fly and take off and land and safe. Let me get turned around here.
Time remaining 2 minutes.
Well, it looks good on the day in today's sunlight. Now that crosswind is messing with me. All right. Take off one more time. Yeah. This thing's fun. This thing is an absolute blast to fly.
High speed 3D.
There. Knife edge all day long. Inverted. Zero problem inverted.
One minute.
Harrier. I'm curious. You know, I gotta try it.
Seconds. 20 seconds.
Yeah, I locked into Harrier there for just a little bit. Yeah, they just need stronger gear or make perfect landings.
Moto is so chill.
All right, take it back to the bench. We'll talk about it. All right, motor cut is on, just to let you know, because you have to come up here. I've already, the only complaint I've got with this plane, honestly, is just the gear. It bends real easily. So just be careful how you slap down. It bends right back, and then you fly to keep on flying. I mean, it's no problem. But we flew for 14 seconds shy of 7 minutes. Make sure of that.
Starting the first
Yeah, so almost 7 minutes. And I've got, this is a 5,000 Turnigy that the Hobby King sent out with me. I got 29% left, so that's perfect. All right, we'll show you battery placement real quick, and we'll talk about CG. Let me get over here where you can see the battery placement. Okay, XT90, and basically a full fist in, and you can see where I've got the battery. So that's the factory setting on the strap, and kind of favoring it. I mean, it's kind of, well, you can just kind of see. I mean, you got a full hand here. I have it marked, but that doesn't tell you anything. But anyways, that's where I got it. AR631 Spectrum receiver inside there. We put the hatch back on. It's just a really good flying plane. I mean, if they just had stronger gear, it would be nearly perfect. All right, CG on the plane is 110 or 105 millimeters back from the leading edge root. That puts it basically right there. Kind of favoring nose heavy, but to level to favoring nose heavy. So that's pretty good. And I've actually got it marked with a couple of hot glue marks. That way I can physically feel it. I don't have to worry about, I'm not looking at it and everything. I can just put my fingers on them glue marks and I know I'm good. So there you go. All right. Let's, don't exactly have the best arrangement here for filming, but I'm by myself right now. I'm a one-man show. All right. The angle limits for safe, in order to get this to fly right, what I have to do is I have to go to forward programming and just tell you what I set them at. Okay, because, all right, gyro settings, safe settings, safe settings.
Safe mode.
Okay. Safe settings, angle limits, all right. Roll right and roll left, I have set to 90. Pitch up and pitch down, I set to 75. So that's what
Low speed extreme.
I put it in my lowest, or I put it in my low rate sport mode, and that's what safe looks like. 90 on the limit on the roll right and roll left on the angle limit's 90, and the pitch up and down is 75. And that's just how that works. I increase them to get more throws, but they still will not allow you to turn the plane to get it inverted. And if I let go of the sticks, it'll still self-right. Okay, but that's not the way I left it. I just took off and landed that way just to show you it can be done. So if you're dead set on getting this, but you only have to have safe, you can do it. All right, now out of safe,
AS3X
and then my sport mode, which is like, I consider that my beginner mode, which is where I'm flying around more like pattern flying, or like the way you would fly, say, a Pitts, okay? Knife edges and a little bit of tumbles and a couple of snap rolls. That's my sport flying. Ailerons are at 40 with 50% expo. Elevator at 50 with 50% expo. And rudder is at 80 with 50% expo. Now, for high-speed 3D, in other words, I'm going to come out of sport mode and I'm going to do, Harriers, or try to do Harriers anyways, and inverted and not some extreme knife edges and tumbles and stuff. More 3D, trying to get her to hover and stuff. This is what I'm going to be in. This is a kind of a mid-ground 3D, okay? And you're not going to be going as fast because you've got so much deflection. Ailerons here are set at 70 with 50% expo. Elevator, 70 with 50% expo. And rudder at 80 with 50% expo. Now, extreme
Low speed extreme 3D.
or low speed extreme 3D. In other words, maximum deflection, absolute, the most you can get out of this thing. All right, aileron, 100%, 50% expo. Elevator, 100%, 50% expo. And rudder, you guessed it, 100% with 50% expo. Now, we'll talk about AS3X Plus and how it relates to that. Okay, in my AS3X mode, which is what I fly in, the gains are set at half, 0.5. You don't want much correction, just 0.5. You can even go to 0.25, but 0.5 is where I left it. The gains that I picked, okay, for roll, pitch, and yaw are 40, 50, and 60, okay? The priorities, however, is where I start getting different. My priorities on roll, pitch, and yaw are at 150 on roll, pitch, and yaw, okay? Stop lock, all at 50 on roll, pitch, and yaw. And here's another deviation from what I normally do. And release rate at 80 on roll, pitch, and yaw. That way I don't get that bounce whenever I stop a maneuver and she kind of bounces a little bit. The gyro won't allow it to bounce. It keeps it right in there. If you have a lot of expo, then you need a lot more priority. So it all kind of balances it out. I don't explain the science behind it. I just know it works. So obviously don't have a nose wheel. And that's pretty much it, folks. You can get a solid 7 minutes of flying it hard, of mixed flying. If you were to fly it very easy, just like say in beginner mode and sport mode, and just kind of cruise around, you may even get 10 minutes out of this thing if you really are very easy. You do a lot of gliding and stuff, which this thing will do. So it's entirely up to you, but 7 minutes is probably the best conservative time to where you come back with a good 30% left on a 5,000 and won't have any issue. Now, I wish that I had brought the strap or what I needed to fly that 3600, because that battery, that 3600, is about 150 grams lighter than the 5,000. I'm thinking because they recommend that 3600 to 4,000, a much lighter battery, it may be easier on this gear. I would think so. That makes sense to me. So, but I didn't bring the Velcro. So anyways, believe it or not, these engineers, they do know what they're doing. We think they don't, but they know what they're doing, okay? And if I put a 3600 6S in this, a lighter pack, I'm going to put my time back to 5 minutes, maybe 4.5 minutes, just to be conservative. Well, folks, there you go. Hobby King, thank you so much. Sorry, my son Gabe's working, my wife's working, so it's just me and the planes and the hat cam, so that's what we got to put up with. Folks, y'all have a good one. God bless y'all. Y'all have don't forget, faith, family, and friends. Avios, thank you for the plane. Hobby King, thank you for the plane. The NG Extra 300 is one incredible flying plane. It is beautiful. It shows up so well. I love the colors, and I love the lights, and I love it. It just needs stronger gear. That's all it is. It just needs stronger gear. That is the only drawback. And I can see me just, and I want to say the gear is like $12. So You know, you buy the plane, if they got the plane in stock and they've got the gear in stock, buy an extra set of gear just to be on the safe side. And like you would an extra prop. So, all right, well, y'all have a good and God bless you. Don't forget, faith, family, and friends, Avios, beautiful 3D, the NG. Bye. Now I gotta set this big beast down. She ain't small.